Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, where the hell you're listening to this. You know the deal. It's been a long time. This is JackKnife alongside the Zack Danielz. Gee, guys, why'd you go away this time? Well, you looking behind me, if you're watching this on video, quite different from my usual setup with my jerseys and stuff. Yeah. I'll give you the too long didn't read version. My fiance and I bought a house, and I got a new job, so a lot of life events, so couldn't really sit down, do some discussion with my boy here. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with me. What about you, Zach?
I'm trying to get there, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot of the same old. Just trying to find a house ourselves, trying to find, trying to just work, just keep working, like find a place to live, man. It's not easy. I'm glad you got it. I mean, you have a very nice place. It's a little townhome in Brick, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dox you later.
God.
So, but yeah, no, it's finding a house. I think as you know, is absolutely rough in the state of New Jersey, especially. So, yeah, I've been just hanging around, watching my Eagles kick ass, and waiting to find something to do. We got the holidays coming up. Hopefully we can get more in the swing of things after this. I think maybe a little work on our end, maybe to clean up how we do this. So maybe it's easy to maybe sit down once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The point is not go on these 2-month hiatuses,
Was it 2 months? I guess it was 2 months hiatus. Oh, my God.
It was October 19th was our last episode.
I honestly thought that was our best episode ever, considering all the stuff we added in there, effects wise, but I'm just tooting my own horn for editing. But yeah, we got a quick one for tonight. Well, quick for us at least, because the main point of this episode is to let you guys know, hey, we're not dead. We're still here. Geez, I've barely been able to make memes the past couple months, But
hey, you're busy, man.
Yeah, we're busy, and I'm making a lot more money now, so it's all good. So yeah, Zach, last time we talked on FUNTS, the Phillies were in the NLCS. So, yeah, you take the reins on this.
Well, they ended up going to the World Series. And approximately nobody predicted that at the beginning of the year or even when they entered the playoffs. And I was the one that kind of predicted it. And I was almost correct in saying that I thought that they would never lose at home, but they ended up losing at home in the World Series, and the Houston Astros took it in 6. Heartbreaking, but it's one of the best Phillies teams in history. And now, sitting here on December 14th, we're recording, they've made moves in the winter meetings. They went out and got Trey Turner, who admitted that when he was sitting at home, because the Dodgers lost in the playoffs early, he was sitting at home watching the Phillies going, I want to be there. So that's nice. And then we got Taijuan Walker from the Mets. He's not amazing, but he had a great year for the Mets. First half was great. Second half was a little off, as the whole team was. But we needed another starter, so that's another arm. We lost Gene Segura, but, we got Trey Turner now, and Bryson Stott is the future. So I'd say the Phillies ended their season pretty well. Jack, how the Yankees end up doing? Because I believe I think they were playing the Guardians at that time.
Yeah, they beat the Guardians to advance to the ALCS, where they promptly got swept by the Houston Astros, which honestly, I think even a lot of Yankee fans will tell you this surprised nobody. Astros trash can memes are officially dead. Well, unless there's some other scandal that comes out of this one, but only time will tell. One good thing happened, one bad thing happened. The bad thing is that Brian Cashman got extended. I mean, he's not terrible, but at the same time, he barely does enough to keep the Yankees afloat. I'm just like, oh, jeez. But I will give the Yankees front office this. By some divine miracle, I didn't think they'd get this done. They re-signed Aaron Judge. I don't know the numbers of the contract off the top of my head, but it was a lot of money. The Giants were in contention. The Padres offered even more money, but Hal Steinbrenner was apparently on vacation in Italy, called Aaron Judge, heard about the Giants offer, had a counter offer, called Judge himself, was like, listen, if we give you this, do you want to be a Yankee? Judge said yes, pen to paper. He's going to be a Yankee for the rest of his career, which is great, especially after the season he had. It would have been. I said previously that if the Yankees didn't re-sign Judge, then they're the Yankees in name only if they were afraid to spend money. So, yeah. We also re-signed Anthony Rizzo, and I also want to make an apology to Harrison Bader. I hated that trade. He was who we received in the trade for Jordan Montgomery, but once he was healthy, he was probably the Yankees' best hitter in the postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I called you out on that one too. I called you. I love Harrison Bader. He was just injured, and it was a shocking trade. But
yeah, it was. But yeah, some other notable MLB free agents. I think it was yesterday. Carlos Correa was signed to the San Francisco Giants. Xander Bogaerts went to the San Diego Padres. The Boston Red Sox are in shambles right now. I mean, I do think that's awesome, me being the asshole Yankee fan I am, but still, the Yankees have a lot of work to do. They need to do something to overcome Houston. So, yeah, that's what they'll do.
You want some more? I got some more for you because I see our notes only had a couple.
Sure, let's hear.
We got Jacob deGrom went to the Rangers. Jacob deGrom's now in your league. Have fun, buddy. But I don't think Jacob deGrom's all that, to be honest. When he's healthy, he's amazing. But he's honestly, it's like you get a couple games where he pitches 4 to 5 innings and gets like 8 or 9 strikeouts, and then he's down for like 2 months. I don't know. Like they got to oil that machine a little bit better in Texas. And with that response, the Mets went out and they got Justin Verlander for some stupid money. I think, he's old. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. But it's not a bad move because DeGrom was never healthy. And Verlander is a horse. He had Tommy John a couple years ago. That dude has not missed a beat. He has not skipped a beat in 2 years. The Mets, didn't the Mets do something else? Oh, man. Off the top of my head, I've lost them already.
Yeah, it is.
They lost Chris Bassett to the Blue Jays. They got that guy Cody Senga. If you guys like baseball, you got to look up highlights on this Cody Senga, or I guess I'm saying that right. Senja. I have no idea. From Japan, kid throws filth. So yeah, that's a couple big signings in that area. Noah Syndergaard possibly looking. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Noah Syndergaard might be going to the Dodgers. I have no idea.
Who knows? I think you guys very well I think you guys should be considered one of the favorites to go back to the World Series in your league. I mean, right now I haven't really seen anything for things to change in the AL with the Astros, because I just remembered another one. I think it was Jose Abreu who signed with the Astros.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. The Yankees, their focus is like, make the playoffs. It's a crapshoot, or whatever. Astros, okay, we just won the World Series. Let's just keep getting better. Oh, jeez.
Where did Nimmo go? Nimmo went somewhere, didn't he?
Let's see.
Oh,
Brandon Nimmo. Let's see. I'm typing into the Google machine. According to this, he's still a Met. According to Wikipedia, he's still.
Okay.
But anyway, I think. But yeah, we wanted a quick one, Zach. Let's get.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get to the football then. I think for my side, I mean, the Eagles are an absolute fucking machine. Nothing has changed since the last episode we did 2 months ago. I mean, Jalen Hurts is now an MVP candidate. He was back then. No one saw it. Now they're actually starting to see it. They're starting to beat the brakes off of teams like the Titans and the frauds that are the Giants. I had a feeling all year long that I didn't trust them, and I gave them their props, and the moment I give them their props, they lose 3 or 4 and they tie the four.
The Giants are well coached. The thing is, they don't necessarily have the talent yet. But, Brian Dable's building a good culture there.
They're ravaged in injuries. And but this Eagles team feels better than 2017 at this moment. I'm not even joking. They're playing almost perfect football. Especially in the league where everyone seems to be doing crap, including like the old heads like Stafford's injured, Brady and Rodgers not doing well, Russell Wilson stinks. Patrick Mahomes is doing good, but like a lot of teams just underperforming this year. Philly is like clicking on all cylinders, and it's incredible to watch. And somehow people are still fighting for every reason to not believe in this team or Jalen Hurts. I don't understand it. I think most of them are honestly Cowboys writers. I know Cowboys writers on FS1 are like talking shit on them. Nick Wright, he didn't believe in them in 2017. I see he still doesn't believe in them, and he believes in the Cowboys more than the Eagles this year. Nick Wright was so wrong in 2017, so I'm going to let him keep being wrong. And ESPN, their analytics still predicts the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl over Philly, even though the Eagles beat the Cowboys earlier in the season, and they have a 12-1 record.
Yeah, their excuse is going to be like, "Oh, Dallas didn't have Cooper Rush that game," and don't. And I gotta say this: the one Eagles loss came after a horrible missed call.
There was that Washington game was their only slip up this season, and that was honestly, you can't even blame Jalen if you go back and look. He didn't have the best game, but A.J. Brown had the ball stolen from him. So Jalen Hurts has 3 interceptions on the year. 2 of them were on drop passes, or one was a drop, one was a taken away from A.J. Brown. And then later in the game, it was 26-21. He bombs one down to Quez Watkins. He catches it, nice catch, falls to the ground, tries to get back up, guy punches it out. That's not Jalen Hurts' fault.
No.
Like, this team is an absolute unit right now. Like, nothing. And by the way, all their interviews, people, the Micah Parsons the other, like, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, said,
about this.
He said like, I think Von Miller asked him on his podcast.
Oh yeah, like, it was something along the lines of, are the Eagles great or is it all Jalen Hurts? Michael Parsons said something along the lines of, it's both.
Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't taking it too much as a diss, but it was a little backhanded because it was. Is it? Do you think it's Jalen Hurts or is it the team? And he was like, it's kind of both. Like, isn't it like the system? And people are taking it as like system quarterback. I'm like, maybe a little too far, but still, of course it's a Cowboy saying that. What,
yeah.
Like, what, do you think he's going to praise him? But at the same time, I don't understand why this kid doesn't realize that maybe he's just upset that he was the ghost in the Cowboys game, because I know Dak Prescott didn't play, but I know Micah Parsons did, and did absolute jack shit. So, I don't know. Maybe he's a little salty. But we'll find out Christmas Eve. But I love the Jets, dude. You go on the Jets. The last time we talked about them, it was Elijah Moore.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I wanted 3 things at the beginning of this year. 1, at least around 500 to finish. Okay, we're kind of around that. We were in a playoff picture, but now we're on the outside looking in, which we'll get to in a little bit. But that's 1. 2, competitive in every game. And the Jets have been very competitive in just about all their games. I can't think of a single time they got blown out.
You know what? Actually, saying a lot of teams underwhelming this year, the Jets are one of the teams that, like the Eagles, are actually fun to watch.
Okay, yeah. But I'm 2 for 3 on the things I want this season. The third thing I wanted was good development out of our young QB. And it went from being just mediocre at first to absolute dumpster fire. Because right now, the team who holds the last playoff spot is the freaking New England Patriots. They're 3rd in the AFC East. The Jets are 4th. They have the same record, but the Patriots won both games against the Jets, and they have the tiebreaker in that scenario. And when Zach Wilson played awful that game against the Patriots, I watched the entire thing. Like, he's not hitting any. He's missing wide open throws, like just throws to the sideline, like over his head. Like, he almost had another freaking pick to McCourty where there was no one around him, and then the Patriots win it on a punt return as time expires. Well, almost expires, but whatever. And when Zach Wilson asked after the game, "Do you feel like you let the defense down?" Because the defense is incredible. The best part about the Jets this year is their defense. Quinnen Williams is. Sauce Gardner is probably Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quinnen Williams is a monster, but let's see how this calf injury affects him. But yeah, Zach Wilson was asked, did he feel like he let the defense down that game? And he just quickly shot down. No. But the Jets did something surprising. They put their foot down. It was like, you know what? That's not the type of attitude, dude, we're having here. You sucked. You're not starting this next game or the next one. And in comes the man, the myth, the legend, Mike White, who's become basically a folk hero now to Jets fans. He led them. He had a great game against the Chicago Bears next week, leading them to another win, breaking the streak of that coin, by the way. The next game they lost. They fell behind by a wide margin to Minnesota in Minnesota, but they battled back and fell behind they were within a touchdown, and it came down to a pass to Braxton Berrios in the end zone, like less than 2 minutes left. Berrios maybe could have caught it. It wasn't the best throw. The Vikings defense just held it down in the red zone.
He should have caught it.
I agree. So that's not on Mike White. But then this past Sunday, again, they lost to the Buffalo Bills. They lost by 8 points, but Mike White is still making smart decisions. He's doing everything right. By the way, something I forgot to mention, in the Vikings game, I think White did have 2 interceptions, but they weren't his fault. The first one was a deflection, and I forget what the other one was. But
he still put up 300-something yards, didn't he?
I think so. I'm too lazy to look it up right now. But
no worries.
But yeah, like I said, quickie tonight. But yeah, Mike White gets blasted on this one play. In comes Joe Flacco. That goes about as well as you expect. But 2 plays later, Mike White just comes back. He's hurt, and he's still battling. And then later in the game, he gets hit basically in a similar way. He has to walk to the locker room. I thought, great, we're done. Because, we got Joe Flacco out there, and he's washed. He's done. He's probably retiring after this year. I don't think he even wants to be there. But similar to Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel in the 1970 NBA Finals, Knicks Lakers, Mike White came out of the tunnel against the Buffalo Bills, and he's possibly playing with broken ribs.
They shot him up with that magic juice.
I mean, he's still trying to make his throws. He's still hitting guys, and you could see he's in pain. But Mike White is showing why the Jets locker room absolutely loves him, and that's great and all. I love it. At the same time, it's geez, I don't think I want Zach Wilson back anymore, because from what I heard, Zach Wilson really lost the locker room over what happened. But you know what? Now Zach Wilson will be dressed for this next game against the Detroit Lions. Mike White, if I'm not mistaken, is projected to start.
No, Mike White is the starter. Zach Wilson is active for this one.
Yes.
I honestly think even Saleh does not want to see Joe Flacco out there. I think you have to put in the second round pick.
Yeah, and you know what?
I don't know what's going to happen with Zach Wilson.
Second overall pick, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Time for you to, if Mike White gets knocked out of the game, which I wouldn't be surprised, and Zach Wilson comes in, it's all right, kid, you got to learn from your mistake. But I just don't know what to think. But they play Detroit. Detroit's 6-7, but you know what? I think it's a game you got to win. But Detroit, they battle. They freaking battle. They're a team that's fun to watch. Dan Campbell's a very likable guy. But yeah, the Jets gotta right the ship. Not just if they want to be a playoff team, but if they want a good quarterback. Good quarterback going forward, because the ceiling might be a little higher for Zach Wilson than it is Mike White, but the way the trajectories are going, it's not looking good. So
no, Mike White is definitely playing better, and also when it comes to the Lions, I just wanted to say this: I've definitely talked shit about Dan Campbell in the past, because he wasn't winning games. All of a sudden, this team for the Lions has been on fire, just on fire, man. Bless you. Was that a sneeze?
Yes, it was a sneeze.
But they're on fire. So I don't be amazed, man. You might have a real good game on our hands this Sunday.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good test for the Jets. Well, anyway, let's get into NBA. Look, you got some notes on the Sixers.
Well, the Sixers really just stink right now. James Harden was out for a little bit. He just came back. Apparently looked really good. But they're just not playing well as a team. I mean, I didn't like the moves they made in the offseason, and they still have Doc Rivers, who's a Momo. I don't know, man. I can't. And now we have Joel being mopey Joel right now. He just said like, I think the fans want me traded, and it's like, dude,
God,
nobody wants you traded.
Don't
like,
ever trash your fan base.
No one wants you traded, Joel. Trust us. You were the best player on the team. We know it. Like, it's everything around you that is suspect. So, that's just how they're going. I don't know how the Knicks are going. I just know the Sixers are killing my vibe, and also the Eagles are just kind of in the middle of a historic run for their franchise, and the Phillies are going balls to the wall with their off-season moves. So, I until the Sixers give me a reason to watch, I'm kind of just going to be score watching and stat watching them.
All right, I gotcha. Now to the ice, my New York Rangers. I mean, I think it was like the beginning of the season when we last talked. Well, the Rangers were slated to be cup contenders. I don't know if that's really the case anymore right now. Like, they ended up going through a slump where they were losing a bunch of games, blowing leads. Like, they blew a 3-0 lead in the third period at home to Edmonton. They blew a 2-goal lead to the Islanders at home. I mean, things are getting a little better now. They're on a 4-game win streak. They play Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow. They just had a thrilling overtime victory against the New Jersey Devils on Monday. The Devils, who are freaking killing it right now. Same goes for the Boston Bruins. But, there's just a lot of head scratch. I didn't think this was the year they win the cup, but, there's just a lot of head scratch. A lot of things that can have me scratching my head. Like Gerard Gallant, you go on Ranger Twitter, fans will call for his head. Some fans were upset that they started a winning streak because it's like, oh great, now we can't get Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz, who won the cup with the Capitals, got the Islanders into Stanley Cup contention. And they just let him go for whatever reason. He said it in an interview relatively recently that he'd love to coach an original 6 team. You know who's an original 6 team, Zach? The New York Rangers. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when I get to that. But because Gerard Gallant still makes some head-scratching decisions. Okay, he finally did something Ranger fans have been clamoring for a long time for. He put the kids, Alexi Lafreniere and Capo Caco, on the top line, and it worked. It worked. They got some point production. And when, things aren't working well, like he would reunite the kids with Phil Peedle, well, that's okay. Those guys have chemistry together. But why are guys like Jimmy Vesey and Barclay Goodrow getting top 6 minutes? Don't get me wrong. I like those players, but, they're not top 6-minute players. They're bottom 6-minute players. They, battle on the boards. They eat minutes. They try to set the tone, and every once in a while they'll put something in the net. But, yeah, I went to 2 weekends ago, I ran into Mandarley for the first time in a while. We went to their game against the Blackhawks. At the time, they just looked so lethargic at the time. This is when they're in the middle of the slump. Hopefully it's over now. But yeah, they just looked so lethargic. And Jacob Trouba, captain, he has some very bad turnovers. And you know what? He does some things to try to wake up a team like a captain does. Like, he had 2 huge hits when I went to the game against Chicago. Like, he blasted Andreas Athanasiou and some other guy. And that's what he needed to do. And they were hard, clean hits, toe the line type of hits. And he was like, listen, guys, wake the freak up. But at the same time, he's not playing to the production that his contract is up to. He could be playing hurt. A lot of people do suspect it. But as things are looking right now, his tenure as a captain in New York might go very similar to the route the captaincy of Dion Phaneuf went for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And anyone who knows hockey knows it was his run as captain for Toronto was mediocre or okay at best. But listen, we're in a wild card spot right now. There's still plenty of games left. We'll see what happens. The Rangers are hopefully riding the ship.
Hey, just because we are talking hockey real quick, I did watch the other night the Rangers beat the Devils in that crazy overtime game.
That was a great game.
I had the over.
Rangers flipped the script. The Devils basically humiliate the flipped the script, literally. Usually it's Ranger fans that take over the Devils building. Devil fans took over Madison Square Garden. Like, there were sing-song chants of Igor. The Devils won 4-3 because the Rangers, they went up 2-0, but that's another, again, they were in their slump. They couldn't hold a lead for the life of them. And then the Devils went up 4-2. The Rangers would get 1 goal back, but that was it. But on Monday, the Devils went up 2-0. This time it was the Rangers flipping the script. It was 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, and then they scored 2 quick goals 7 seconds apart. Capo scored, which I think was huge because Jack Hughes did score a beautiful goal earlier in that game, and he was denied by Igor on a penalty shot. But that kid's a gentle giant. Like, he plays a physical style, but he's not mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get angry. You gotta get mean.
I only brought them up because there was, doing my sports betting, which has been hot lately. Gonna jinx it now. But I had the over on that game, and they hit the over just by scoring that 7th goal. But
yes.
In general, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I was just looking at, doing my little, research, looking up things. And I look at the Devils, and, I mean, this is a couple weeks ago, but I was like, 10-0.
I think they had.
10-0. I was like, what the hell?
If I'm not mistaken, they tied a franchise record with their winning streak. The last time they did that was 2001. That year, they went on to lose in the finals to Ray Bourque, Joe Sakic, and the Colorado Avalanche. But anyway, one last Rangers point. Well, kind of a Rangers and a Jets point. After that first Devils game when they lost, Igor Shesterkin said after the game, goalie's been terrible. Bro, he obviously he's the goalie, Zach. He said he's been terrible. That's called accountability, Zach Wilson. I hope you paid attention to that. And since then, he stepped his game up. He's been closer to the Igor we got last year, who won the Vezina Trophy. And one last hockey note, we got another member of the 800 Goal Club, Alexander Ovechkin. He scored a hat trick the other night to reach the 800 Goal Club. So yeah, I won't be surprised if he breaks Gretzky's record at this point.
That's what a lot of people are saying. He's a legend.
Yeah, like, he's a well-oiled machine. He's up there in age, but he just keeps going and going and going. But yeah, I think that, we've talked for about like almost 28 minutes now, Zach. So we went for our quickie to let you guys know we're not dead. Anything else you want to add? Oh, fantasy football.
Well, fantasy football, it was I think because I did the league a little bit too quick, could have added maybe 6 teams to the winners bracket for the playoffs. But we got Nick Hassel. Is that how you say his last name?
Yes, that's my brother. Nick
Hassel. David, I don't want to say your name, David, but Carsagenti. I'm going to go Carsagenti. My buddy Billy Burrows and Tom T-Woz. T-Woz, unbelievably, is the 2nd seed in the winners bracket. And you know what? Honestly, looking at this, I prefer this. I prefer 4 teams. I don't care how many. Like, okay, maybe if we go to 16, then you need like 6. But
yeah, I mean,
4 is like the best of the best. I don't care who. And maybe I should have split it up by division, really. But I mean, the best of the best. Give me that. I want that. That's who's in the league.
Well, next year, let's add kick returns and punt returns back in there because that adds a very interesting dynamic. But yeah, Bree didn't have so. Yeah, I unfortunately and I was in control of my own destiny, but freaking what's his name on the Bengals? 85. I'm brain farting on his
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins just had to get hurt. He got me nothing. And yeah, now I'm in the consolation bracket. And you're in the consolation bracket too. And you're gonna
we all are if you are a loser. So
if I'm not mistaken, you're gonna face Bree, right?
Yeah, we were the 2 bottom dwellers.
Yeah, well, you better win if you don't want to eat shit sandwich. I think it's going to come down to that.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
But yeah.
Oh, fuck. What's the shit sandwich again? Oh, it was like mayo and...
bananas.
No. Ew. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. We're going to get real this week. We're gonna get real this week.
Yeah, Brie kind of, had the opposite effect. She won the NASCAR pool where that's Tom's sport, and he really underperformed there. Whereas Tom, he kind of just won it this fantasy football season, and he did great.
Yeah, man, he did. I mean, having Josh Allen really helps. Let me look at his team again real quick. I mean, he had Josh Allen first, and it's like, oh, that's crazy to pick a quarterback first. Well, it fucking worked for him, man. I mean. He has Josh Jacobs. I'm sorry. He has Josh Jacobs, who went absolutely ballistic several weeks this year. Tyreek Hill, who is always a video game stat, his team is just it's solid. It's solid. And also Dallas Goedert's on his bench, and I think Dallas is going to be back in the next week or two. So he's got plenty of fucking firepower. And he must be getting lucky in these. He might just be getting lucky too to go 9-5. I know your brother. I mean. His team's loaded too, but it's now headed by Mike White because Lamar Jackson went down. You know what? Honestly, that's fucking awesome. That's actually awesome.
Yeah, my brother's undying loyalty to the Jets might actually pay off. But we thought we were going for a quickie. We got like about a half hour here. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now, Zach.
We're good, man. I think that's all. And like I said, maybe we can get on a little groove, maybe every 2 weeks or something, not every week, and try and plan something out. Maybe make it so it's quicker like this. I like this. This is nice and good.
Yes, so okay, fingers crossed. Hopefully we don't have to wait next time. But if you made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us wherever you... Jeez, it's been so long. I've been out of the flow of things. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on all social medias, at FUNTS Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, and on Fat of Nerds Talking Sports on Facebook. This is JackKnife alongside the Zack Danielz. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Go Birds!
Go Rangers!